Hey everyone, my name's Marquise, but I'm not the Marquise you know. In actuality, I am from the future, and right now I've come back in time to tell you about my story. The story about how I became the greatest library technician you've ever seen. But first, let me tell you about the future, because I know you guys really want to know the secrets of the future. So, one cool fact about the future is that if you somehow manage to predict that within 5 to 8 years in the future, that Chris Pratt would win an Oscar for his life changing performance as Mario, well, surprisingly enough, you were correct. But, anyways, forget about Chris Pratt, enough about him. The story isn't about him, it's about me. And right now, I'd like to take you to the past to reflect on myself and how I got to where I am now. Okay, so imagine the year is 2023, spring 2023. That's where my story humbly begins. By that time, I'm a student at Valencia College, and I'm probably thinking to myself, man, what am I going to do with the rest of my life? This picture right here on the screen represents a highly dramatic version of myself on Casual Friday doing what I had originally wanted to do with the rest of my life. But then, suddenly, I had a realization even more dramatic than that picture. As I thought about it more, I realized I don't actually want to be on the phone all day talking to people. I don't really like talking to people all day on the phone, unless it's with my grandma. I like talking to her. She's okay. So, yeah, with that new realization in mind, needless to say, I wasn't doing good. I wasn't doing good at all. I was basically in danger. I was in so much trouble. What was I gonna do? I needed a miracle. I also wanted a pizza. Now, I didn't get the pizza, but I did get my miracle. Now, somehow, I managed to get the miracle that I wanted. This miracle came after a few class assignments and a bit of research that I did on my own. Sometimes Google actually does have the answers to life questions. Who'd have thought, huh? But after that, I was able to realize that there were many other options and paths I had when it came to career paths that I could potentially pursue. Through the research that I did, I had successfully found a new career for myself. I had now wanted to become a library technician. I chose this new career because it aligned with what I originally wanted to do at a call center job, as well as with my overall purpose of wanting to give a helping hand to others by way of communicating and interacting with people. With this new career, I had finally found the light at the end of the tunnel, and so with that, I intended to follow that light and never turn my head and look back. So, with this new direction and course to follow, I did just that. I followed the light, and where did it lead me to, you may ask? Well, it led me to be drowning knee deep in student debt. Actually, no, I wasn't actually drowning in student debt. My SLS professor taught me better than that, to only take out loans if necessary. With that information, I used scholarships and grants through FAFSA, and unfortunately some of my weekly comic book fund, to pay to further my education in order to achieve my career goal. Speaking of furthering my education, my career goal, which I successfully achieved, by the way, was to get my Associate's in Arts degree at Valencia College, which I did, obviously. Then, after, I managed successfully to get my bachelor's degree in library science at Florida State University. Now, I don't exactly remember how much both my associate's and bachelor's degree cost. I got both of them a long time ago, and I don't remember how much they cost. But if I were to give an estimate, I'd say that my associates cost around maybe $6,000, and my bachelor's cost about $19,000. Those costs also don't take into account any financial aid or scholarships that I would have received. So, since I went over my education, it seems only fair to go over my job and what I do in my job. So, as a library technician, you work in many different areas when it comes to library services. That sometimes includes working alongside librarians, but the main purpose of the job is to assist people in accessing information. That may encompass helping librarians in different tasks and areas, such as locating materials, performing basic catalog duties, checking library materials in and out, and overseeing the work of other people in the library. Now, for the skills needed to be a library technician, you have to have good interpersonal skills, as you have to interact with people often, and to have excellent time management skills, as you have to have materials ready for those people. You also have to get many tasks done prior, such as in explaining procedures, setting deadlines, and following through with subordinates. The personality traits that a librarian should possess are patience and flexibility, as you will be interrupted by people frequently to help them answer any questions that they may have about the library system. So, with all that being said, that's pretty much it. That, ladies and gentlemen, is how my story ended. Now, I'm going to head back to the future, but I'll leave you with one thing. The road ahead is far, but the future is bright.